Let's do it.
Right, here we go. And let's make sure we change this to the stream here. Perfect. We'll go to here. Okay, all right. We got us after some technical difficulties. We're back here. Hey, currently this you got the old mongoose here again. First off, you should notice here the next day or two, name's gonna change. Gonna change it to Midnight Mongoose Tabletop. I know that Sean and some others are really excited about playing Star Wars Legion. We're talking James, we're talking Michael, Jake even. So we're gonna make that small change to the name of the channel, and you might be seeing some of that here in the future. So let's be you all could be looking out for that. Yeah. So first off, we're gonna start. We're gonna talk about the first 11th edition RTT that we're gonna go to. It's gonna be this Saturday. Now, typically when we go over this, I talk about like the layouts and the missions and what's going on, but that's not how 11th is gonna play anymore. So, well, you take your disposition, right? For myself, I'm doing take and hold, and then whatever my opponent is, whatever his disposition is, we're going to play one of 5 missions. And I got to be quite honest with you, I am just now looking at the core rules to figure out how this game plays, so I kind of know what I'm doing. Um, and then Woody here, he's going to be doing layouts A, B, and C for basically rounds 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to get a good sample, I hope, into what we're playing against here. So Hayden, you got anything you want to say on that?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I haven't really been able to practice much, so I'm familiar with take and hold and purge, but not really familiar with the other three dispositions. So that's gonna be a huge learning curve. And as far as the layouts go, yeah, I think Woody went with the right choice with A, B, and C. That's obviously going to depend on the dispositions of the matchup. So who really is? We're all here to learn 11th.
Yeah, we're all here to learn, right? 100%. So let's first off, we're gonna talk about what's up, C Jones. What's happening? Good to see you in the chat, my man. Um, we got again, it's Wooden Ogre Games here. It's in Paducah, Kentucky, and I would be remiss if I had said this is my first Woody ran event that I'm able to get to, and it's been devastating because for the whole he's been having the shop for about a year now, and I have never made it to one of his events. Either work got in the way or something else was happening. So I'm super excited to finally get out there and check out the shop and see what's going on. But without further ado here, um, it's going to be a 30-person event, and we're going to have uh, all the slots are taken at least. Hopefully everyone shows up. So this could actually be big points for the TEO circuit. And we're gonna come back to that a little bit later towards the end because I wanna track that kind of like where I'm at, where you're sitting at with our factions, the leaderboards, and everything there, Hayden. I think that'd be a good time. But to start us off here, we're gonna look at the roster and we'll talk about kind of our team, our guys first, and then maybe we'll pick and choose a few other ones. But like I was talking about, I'll be going Leagues of Votan, and my disposition is taken hold. And again, another segue before I get there. In the app, if you're trying to select your disposition, it doesn't seem to work very well. I don't think it like populates. It's not very smart. But if you go onto the web page, you'll be able to in your roster, player details here to show you real fast. The forced disposition drop down opens up where you can see it, and I know that doesn't populate for me when I'm using the app to submit my list. Hayden, did you run into that kind of issue as well?
I basically followed your advice and had to log in on my computer to actually do the disposition in addition to the faction.
Oh, got it. Yep. Yeah, because if you do it on the app, it drops down and you see all the factions, and then you can pick the disposition from your faction, but then it says it's not a faction. It kind of wigs out on the app. But yeah, hey, let's talk about my list here. And again, we're just kind of learning. We're growing with this, and yeah, well, we're gonna talk about it. So hey, this is gonna be my 2,000 points Hearthguard Covenant and Mercenary Oath Band Taken Hold list. Um, One of the things you'll notice as we're going through here, you'll be like, hey, he doesn't have like a lot of warriors. He's not bringing a lot of OC. I'm not. I'm really trying to use my firepower to blow you off of objectives and then hold said objectives after I've cleared you off, killing you. So it's a way for me to play, I would say, an aggressive take and hold, and then not being stuck to purge the foe. So one of these things, this is something that I'm testing and looking at in a team's environment as well. But we'll just have to see, right? But without further ado, let's get started on here. So I'm going to have a call. He is my warlord. He'll be attached to my 10-man Pioneer Hearthguard, and the enhancement, he's got the SB9 targeting implant. So one of the other changes from 10th to 11th is I can only target one unit with a stratagem per phase. Okay, so one of the best stratagems that we have in the Hearthguard Covenant is the same you'll find in Hearthband, where I can spend one CP plus one strength, spend a yield point, get sustained. Pretty cool, right? Well, what if I just get this guy an enhancement that it's always given him spend three yield points, get sustained. He's always going to reroll once. Doesn't have to be close to eligible, right? So this is a way, and it gives me that in the shooting and the fight phase. So I can activate on this unit not using that CP, and I'm going to get the same benefits just using my yield points, essentially, without the plus one strength. But yeah, so we're going to go with that. I don't know why this says attached unit 2, Berserks. I don't have anything attached to Berserk, so that's clearly a fun appism that we're trying to learn in 11th, I guess. Um, Here, I do have another call. He's going to be with a 5-man of those Hearthguard. Here, we're going to have the Mercenary Prospector. So every time the call unit destroys a model, I get one yield point. Well, the Mercenary Prospector is going to give me 2 yield points. So now this small 5-man unit I can use, hopefully kill some small screens, kill something, maybe a little objective, whatever. That's going to help feed those yield points that I need into the big 10-man, right? And so obviously the sequencing is going to be huge when we get into that. This next attached unit, I do have a Mimnir strategist with the metaphysical brokerage enhancement with 6 of the melee Iron Steeljacks. Now, the metaphysical brokerage, right? In a turn, if I don't gain at least 3 guild points, he's going to be able to make the difference up, right? So, round 1, I'm getting 1 obviously for holding my home. If I keep the strategist on my objective, that's number 2. Okay, all my Terminators are going to be in deep strike, so they're not killing and getting anything. Hey, guess what? I'm going to have 3 at the end of my turn. Helps if I go first, helps if I go second, right? Um, then we brought one Sagittar with the laser beams. It's just for those berserks that you saw up top to see. And then here, this is where we get to the testing phase of the list where I'm trying to determine, is this what I want to run? Is this the direction I want to go, or do I want to go someone else? Because again, these are my first 3 games of 11th. I got the 6-man Thunderkin that are going to have the grab. Obviously, they're really going to enjoy the reroll ones to hit and ones to wound strat. Spend 3 CP, full rerolls to hit. Um, the 6 Thunderkin with the conversion beamer. When we ran something similar to this list in 10th, the conversion beamers overperformed. And I'm really looking forward to them now because I'm going to say they don't probably care as much about the -1 to hit, especially if they're outside of 12. If I can get that conversion on them, you're on an objective, it's all 4s all around, well, they're just going to be lethal hits. So I'm a big fan there. And then I got another 3-man of Graviton Blast. I did debate on making these guys the bolt guns. So I would shoot them first, strip cover, go for the conversion beamer. However, the blast is just such value over those, being 3 damage versus the 2 damage. Uh, I went with more anti-vehicle monster because that's kind of where Votan can struggle. This is the same Berserk that it said was attached before. So again, there's only one 5-man here. And then I have a naked 5-man of Hearthguard. Again, Hearthguard Covenant, excuse me. It's got access to the 6-inch deep strike stratagem. It's just 5 dudes on 32s. We're gonna get where we need to be. Do a sneaky sneaky secondary, or I'm gonna take your home, something of that. Hecton Land Fortress. So again, back in 10th, I flirted around for a while, a good probably 4 to 6 months. One land fort, right? And this is back when they were 240. Now one's at 250. I like what it brings. I like the ability of it to ignore ballistic skill modifiers and hit modifiers. So there's a lot of good things going for this. It's a lot of output. I don't like the second one being 265, and so we're gonna bring this in here again. It's just testing. It's a good caddy for my Thunderkin to get where they need to be to pop out, and it's a good caddy or for my um, Stabjacks, right, to get in there at some point and move around. So it kind of gives that flexibility. 2 units of the Hearthkin Pioneers. They get to reroll. They get to ignore the stealth, which is what they're going to do, and they get to reroll hit rolls of 1. It's a lot of good output at AP1. So are you really going to use your Armor Contempt strat to save your Space Marines from all this 2 damage? Probably not. You're probably going to save it for something else. So I believe that these guys just went seriously more into value, especially because I can hold my cards to score them later on. Then the ability to come up and down the board is just incredible. And then Capricus Defender. I used one of these before in 10th. I did like it. I didn't like the matchups it was going into at the time, but this is essentially in Mercenary. This is another set of bikes for cheaper. So 65 points. We have a 1 CP strat, something with the Hernkin keyword, which this does have. I can pick this up and put it in strat reserves anywhere on the board. Now I can use that on the bikes as well, but now I have this guy. He's a little 2 OC, 7 wound T7 thing that has a solid number of shots, but 9 2 damage shots that are AP1, 3 of which are twin linked, and the other 6 can get sustained. Again, it just brings a lot of good utility specifically in this detachment. So we're not really hyper focused on things yet, right? We haven't really dialed down to what is like the stellar performers and what's kind of like, okay, this is like a nice to have, but not the need to have to swap around. But this is definitely my starting point here for 11th, and I do really like it for the take and hold matchup here. It's an easy game of Warhammer for myself to play, and if I'm going against a Purge the Foe target and I went second, you're damn right I'm probably going to go immediately into 4 to 5 takeover. So now I'm -1 to be wounded for the rest of the game. Sit on an objective I control, shoot out or fight in it, and have a good time. And so that's my idea and my starting point, I will say, for 11th edition. And I'm really looking forward to how that's going to play out. Hayden, what are your thoughts? You play against Votan a lot. What do you think about that?
Despite playing against you quite a bit, I still have no idea how Votan works. I just go with whatever you tell me. But I will say, personally, like with my list, which I'm sure we'll cover later, the Terminator brick, especially the 10-man, and the Thunderkin are like my biggest concerns because I know those Thunderkin just eat up monsters and vehicles. And then the output of the Hearthguard with their grenade launchers and was it the plasmas? I mean, it's just a ton of shots and it'll overwhelm invuln saves pretty easily.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. And then you got to remember those calls are still giving them lethals and everything. Um,
Yeah, it's rough.
Oh yeah, all right. Hey, David, man, it's like to see this list on the table and get my thoughts on 11th. Yeah, me too. Um, again, I know old Dave Brown here. I know him from days in Texas. So glad to see you out there, and we're super excited about 11th. I think we're gonna go some good places. So I'm excited. Let's see next year on the list. Actually, we do have. Let's see. Since I have you on here, we'll talk your list, right? And then we'll look. You got Jake and James right back to back. You got Clayton on there too. He's got to make sure he puts his club name on there. But let's not forget old Doug. But let's talk about your demons, man. Your purge the foe. Tell me what you're working with here.
Yeah, man. So I think I mentioned earlier I'm most familiar with like strike four or sorry, purge the foe and take and hold. So I wanted to go with something that I was comfortable with. I think as the edition progresses, I might mess around with disruption and some of these other play styles with the different dispositions, but I wanted to go with something I was comfortable with. I love big demons, smashing things. So I ended up going with a Lords of the Warp and Scintillating Legion. It's the Scintillating Legion is 2 detachment points. Lords of the Warp is 1. I was playing Scintillating a lot towards the end of 10th, so I'm familiar with it. And then Lords of the Warp is there purely to give me access to Purge the Foe. So I literally took that. It gives me no other benefits other than Purge, but I think it's pretty fitting with the list. So it's kind of a standard Scintillating Legion list from before, but I'd say a little more elite than what you'd see in 10th. So I've got Be'lakor as my warlord. He's there to do all his Be'lakor shenanigans, the reroll ones to hit aura, the 18-inch lone op within 6 inches, and also his Battle Shock shenanigans are a little more effective this edition because Battle Shock has to be, reset in your command phase instead of just auto passing. So he went up in points. He's also more mobile with the new changes to the fly rule. So he's a little faster getting around the board, can get into melee. They've got a Demon Prince of Chaos with wings. Uh, his allegiance is Zinch to fit with the detachment. I gave him the Neverblade. So I was kind of rocking this. I rocked it at 8 TC with the team. I really like it because it gives me another melee option that can go up to strength 13 when I use the I can't remember the name, but the strat it can give me either +2 strength or +3 strength, +1 AP if I give you a flux token. And so on the go turn, he can go 10 attacks, strength 13, AP 4, damage 3 with sustained lethal or precision. Hitting on twos with an additional +1 to hit. So if they have any modifiers, he cancels them out. It kind of just gives me a fire and forget missile I can throw out there on the board and take something out. I've seen him put the hurt on, Rogel Dorns. I think you were watching when I was playing Mike that one time. He just put an absolute hurting on a Rogel Dorn. One drawback is he is not, despite being a Zinch line Demon Prince, he does not get psychic keywords, but most of the rest of my army does for shooting, which is another reason I wanted to go with this. So uh, I'd say about like 80%, 90% of my damage output is psychic, which now ignores hit roll, ballistic skill, and weapon skill modifiers.
So good.
With the changes to cover, I benefit both ways now, significantly more than I did in 10th edition. So since I'm primarily playing single models, it's pretty easy for me to obscure part of a model behind a ruin and give me -1 to hit, which now helps increase the survivability of my big demons. Well, in the past, the cover bonus did nothing because like the chickens have a 6 up armor and a 4 up invuln, so it did nothing for me. But now I actually get the benefit for cover. And then on the flip side, the chickens are relatively low AP at AP 1 and AP 2 on their little gun and the big gun. And that used to really hurt if you went into cover plus armor contempt. Now, with the changes in cover, I completely ignore the benefit my opponent would be getting. And now my AP is more effective. So it seemed like a huge boost all around. Then below the Demon Prince, I got Kairos Fate Weaver. I mean, he's just great. Generates me CP, has the Vectora, which I believe now is only like once per turn, if I recall correctly, but still
Yes.
very useful within 12. So not as good as it was before, still very good. And then the changes to indirect do kind of hurt Kairos, but it's not super hard for me to get eyes on something and still be, hitting you on 4 pluses with his strength 9, AP 2, damage 3 indirect with blast. so that's sweet. Then I got 3 Lords of Change. They all have the Rod of Sorcery as their extra weapon to give them 6 more shots. And then the Bolt of Change is their like box standard weapon they carry. So it ends up being like 9 shots at strength 10, AP 2, damage 3 with like mostly sustained D3 is usually what I go with. And then 6 other attacks at 9, 1, 2. And then again, I can target them with the strat to either give them +2 strength or +3 strength, +1 AP, and they start tearing things up. One of the Lords of Change has Infernal Puppeteer. I obviously don't have as much stuff in this list, but with the changes to how line of sight works, all I have to do is tow one chicken in. That Lord of Change with Infernal Puppeteer can be 9 inches away or within 9 inches, and now he's essentially opening up massive firing lanes utilizing another chicken. Um, so I think that can be quite useful. And then the other Lord of Change with an enhancement has the Improbable Shield, which is a 6-inch aura of a 4-up Feel No Pain to Psychic and Mortals. It's great into other Psychic armies. Like if I play the Mirror matchup or any other Psychic armies, huge defensive boost. Also gives me Mortal Wound Protection, which isn't just good for my opponents. It's also good if I have explosions, like one of my birds blows up, or with the changes to hazardous, now popping on a 1 or 2 for flat 3, I now ignore like 50% of that damage as long as I'm within that aura. So it also helps me from damaging myself because most of the time I'm going to be overcharging their shots.
Oh yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, and then finally to round it out, I've just got 2x3 flamers. The 10th edition in me was kind of freaking out because I'm like, I don't have a good back objective or home objective holder. But with how like most of the new missions are, your home objective is really only good for like defend stronghold, or if your opponent has like a primary that gives them additional points for like attacking your home or holding your home objective, which the mobility of this detachment helps circumvent that. Because if somebody gets from my home, I just uppy a chicken, bring them down, and blast that thing off the table, and it's really not an issue for me. So I've been able to practice a little bit with this list. I liked it. Like I tested into a creations of bio list. And I 20 0'd it. Um, it's just the output's insane. I think from the additions just benefit me massively. And it's not just with the melee guys too. Like that movement, the changes to movement also enable the birds to fly around the board much easier since I don't have to go like at an angle over terrain. It's just I drop 2 from the movement. So they're moving 10 over like ruins over, shorter ruins. What is it? Light ruins? I forget the new terminology for the shorter ruins.
I do.
Um,
I think that's what it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can't remember. Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah, that's my list. It's pretty simple. It's what is it? Eight units and 12 models, something like that. So um, pretty simple. It's as you can see at the top of the names, all gas, no brakes. I'm just going to table my opponent essentially. And I guess the last thing I got is Tyler had brought up, hey, I'm worried about you performing actions. And in that test game against Creation of Bile, since you can now hold up to like, was it 9 secondary objectives? I can just hold those till late in the game when I pretty much have my opponent tabled, and I can just sit there and knock out like 1 or 2 turns of 15 points in secondaries. Like I can just sit there and like round 4 or 5, like do plunder and cleanse, and there's 15 points right there. Or sorry, that's 10 points, but you get what I'm getting at. It's like way easier if I table my opponent early. I can just perform actions later in the game.
Yeah, no, that's another good point too. So if you notice, even at my list, right, like I didn't bring that standard Jaeger package, which is, the 10 man that gets split between that and the Capricorn carrier that really gives me like 3 action monkeys on there. Um, because you can hold on to those cards, you can score a maximum of 15 on secondaries and on primary in any battle round, right? So you're not forced to come out and do those things. What I will say though, which is super, I don't know if you've caught this looking through the rules, because again, I've just earlier today been starting to study this and learn it. Um, there's 18 secondary cards, right? And
Yeah.
you can only cycle one. The stratagem to the new orders to get a new objective, you only do that once per game. So you're only at max going to see 11 out of those 18 cards.
That's
Uh,
interesting. I honestly didn't even realize you could still cycle them for a CP. I just thought you had to ride with them. So it's at
and
least good to know you can do it once.
Yeah, you can do it once. Same with you can discard a card once, right, to gain a CP. Um, so it's going to be super cool to see how that deck works out because I believe there's I don't know. I think if you look at the majority of the deck, I think there's 7 missions that just kind of want you to be in the middle or your opponent's territory, and then you have I think 5 that are kill secondaries, and then the rest of that there you have is silly actions, right? Um, the game very much wants you to be in the middle of the board or your opponent's territory, right?
Yeah.
So,
I guess one saved round I have with the list is a lot of guys talked about it in 10th as well with scintillating specifically, that you typically end up in the game with a bunch of chickens standing on objectives anyway. So it was another reason that kind of like made me lean towards this detachment is like that's kind of how it played originally is you just end up with your chickens standing on objectives shooting things. And like you said, it encourages you like I mean, I'm trying to think. You've got still secure no man's land. You have like center ground, all that stuff. I'm still gonna be pushing my chickens up to lock those down. So like really, the play style doesn't change much at all, which is I think another reason I wanted to go with this detachment is because I know how it plays. I'm comfortable with it. I think it fits in to 11th even better than it did in the 10th. We'll just have to see, how it does. And I have no idea how it's going to do in like recon, for example. So that's going to be the huge test of this tournament is seeing these other dispositions and how like I fare into them.
exactly, and um, you know, it, as we look forward to late August, where we got a team event coming up, right? We're trying to, the mongoose here. I think we're putting up 2 or 3 teams. I think as of right now, based on how many people we have. Um, I'm really gravitating towards this taking hold. One, I think it's easier it's real standard Warhammer, right? Like I want to stand on objectives, which is the terrain now. I want to score my points, do a couple secondaries, right, and then kill the things I need to do. Um, just because I'm so super busy, right? I'm not going to be able to get as much practice as I want. But yeah, I think like you said, that purge the foe, that recon mission here. Let's see. Let me. I got the cards right here. So when you play against recon, it looks like it's is that meat grinder or is that no? That's punishment. It looks like that's what that is. Yeah, because the reconnaissance, the eyeball. So let's just what am I doing? I have this. I have the power of the internet. Let's go here. Um, these are the take and hold missionaries. Let's go purge the foe. And consecrate is recon, right? So, for you, you're sitting out there. 1 or 2 objectives are consecrated to get 3 VP. What is this? So when a friendly unit destroys an enemy unit, it becomes consecrated at the end of each turn. Each unit in range of an objective marker, excluding your home, not yet consecrated. It consecrates it, and then you place an operational marker there. The unit there is no longer a consecrated unit. So if you get 1 or 2 objectives, you'll get 3 VP, and if you get 3 or more, you get 6, right? And then the second battle, that's any battle round, and then any battle round onwards into your command phase, you control at least one objective, 4 points. You control more, you get 4 points. So this definitely, with your chickens, the way you have that ability to just overpower people. Um, again, get a wing, just get a little tip on there onto that train footprint, blow everything off there, maybe do that infernal puppeteer from that one, maybe hit another side objective out there. You could rack up some points quite easily, I think, into there.
Yeah, looking at it, I agree. I just objective killing things and rack up points. Like, yeah, I'm all about it. The home objective, if it's a horde army, that would be hard to get into for that end of battle points. But I think I can at least rack up decent primary and hopefully table my opponent enough to win the game. One fun point to bring up, I know we've been debating in the chat. I think Michael's here. You might chime in. Is the end of battle scoring versus the fifth battle round? There's a bunch of debate on whether if you were to get 15 in the bottom of five, you get 15 points. Do you then still get 5 additional points at the end
Yeah,
of the
like
battle? Some people say yes, some say no. I'm curious what Mike's. I know he's been doing.
So basically, from what I have seen, is that the app in tabletop battles will not let you score more than 15 primary at the in round 5. So I don't know if it's a coding thing or what. Games Workshop doesn't have a definitive on what is end of game versus end of round 5. There's no, like, from what I could see in a brief search, couldn't see anything like that. However, away games, our friends at ATC have ruled it for this coming weekend that end of round scoring and end of turn scoring for turn 5 are two separate things. So,
Oh,
I mean, yeah. So that is how they have ruled it. A lot of the things that I've been doing is kind of seeing what JD has been saying in all the NTL chat and everything like that. I know they're not the end all be all, but Games Workshop has been extremely quiet since the release of the edition with any kind of changes and updates. And so, I don't know. There's a lot of very bizarre rules interactions currently. Like we have 10th edition FAQs that exist in the current rules that directly contradict um core rules, like fights on death. It's a whole thing. So I don't know. But I'd imagine if for this weekend, Woody will probably rule it that way as well. So it definitely opens things up for interesting possibilities and huge games. If it's two different things.
no, that's super interesting. We know that they're um, they have said that they're going to try to do monthly updates to see what's going on here. Um, to make those fine-tune adjustments, and hopefully we get these FAQs and stuff, and maybe they're going to utilize ATC, right? There's 500 players going through there, whatnot. That's my mother-in-law. Don't worry about that. Just trying to figure that out, right?
That's the hope. I mean, Games Workshop will be there. I don't know really what capacity, but cool to see that they're going to be there. And they're recognizing a really enjoyable couple of events I've been to.
Yeah,
Byway games and everything.
as long as it's
So
not the mall of the oven mall, that was
of death, the
yeah,
Mall of Death.
yeah. Chris got us good there,
But
right?
I mean, yeah, you and I. Yeah, man, that was something, man. I'm a big guy, and boy, oh boy. But this is nothing new, right? Like when we went from eighth to ninth, everything was just dumpster fire. Like we have new rules, we have all these new interactions, and we still have old rules. And to GW's credit, I think this release has thus far been a lot smoother than eighth to ninth, but there's still a lot of problems. For example, there's only one model in the game with cleave. None of the pistol keywords have been updated to what they're supposed to be now. So I don't know. We'll see as the months go on. I think it's very difficult right now in the climate to take this game super serious, super competitive, at least in the current climate. So
No, 100%. And Gage
I mean,
said, GW is currently they're very focused on going after all the TTS creators. Can't be having
absolutely,
that.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
can't be doing that.
no,
Next is going to be the YouTubers who make any kind of content.
and in fact,
Oh wait,
I need to check too because I believe that's why again I changed the name today to Midnight Mongoose Tabletop. Yeah, we got rid of that 40K on there because
yeah,
we don't want them going after
yeah, be careful.
little old 150 subscriber thing. But no, in the Votan Discord, they were saying that the Leagues of Votan faction pack got taken down off the website. Um, so I'm not really sure.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's that about or what's going on. Again, that was this morning, which I'm gonna look on my phone here real fast and just quickly get. Nope, it's back there. So I don't know, but it was taken down for a time. Michael, if you got a time, Roland, what's up, man? See you in the chat. since I have you here, and Danny said he's running a little late, so do you have a moment to go over your list and what can only be described as you're there for a good time?
Oh yeah, like I said, we cannot take this current edition seriously right now. Like the climate is not that. Uh, I don't get to play in events too often because I am usually running them. Give me one sec.
Oh man, he's usually running them. That is true. That is true. He's also currently working right now. Absolute legend. Trying to join the chat and help us out. Um, but yeah, no, in my just for the folks at home, just so everyone is aware, I've been doing a little bit of a painting here, trying to get ready for stuff. And of course, I'm no artiste like Sir Roland here in the chat, but you know, I mean, I'm working on some steel jacks, right? I'm trying to bring them into the fold so that they could shoot some heavy vulcanite onto people. So doing the best I can with the artistic tools that I got, right? Also, a fun little fact because we talked about it last week here. I was able to finally pick up my trophy because I had to leave early from there. But here is the best in faction from that June 13th, 14th, 10th edition event for Leagues of Votan there. So we did get that. It'll go on the mantle upstairs. And one of these days, once I clean up a little bit more of this basement area and we get what's behind the green screen cleared up, I'll move all my cases of Warhammer models down here. We'll start putting all the trophies and stuff and all the other 3D printed fun things that we got up on display here. But I got about 4 more years till I can quit my day job and make that a reality. But you never know. Gage, I see you're in chat, but you're. Oh, what? Are you back, Michael?
I'm back. I'm
All
back.
right.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, man. Why don't you talk us through the sweaty Bolgren backshots featuring Leontis and the pony?
Absolutely. So we're going to the club and we're arriving in style. I got 18 greasy men looking for a good time. So we're playing Astro Militarum, Imperial Guard for the OGs. We got Steelhammer and Abhuman Auxiliaries. Steelhammer's 2 detachment points, Abhuman's 1. So this gives us access to Purge the Foe and take it. I will be going with Purge the Foe for the event because I just want to turn my brain off, drive forward, and beat some people up.
Sure.
The core of the list is revolving around transport Bane Blades. So we got the Doom Hammer with some good old firing deck 12 and a transport capacity of 26, carrying 6 Ogren with the Ripper guns. So that's going to be like 36 shots if I get in rapid fire range on top of 15 shots from the heavy bolter, and then my big melta cannon, and then I can reroll damage rolls on all the guns. And then I got the good old Stormlord, and the Stormlord's got the Assault Hatch upgrade. And what that lets me do is turn it into a Land Raider. I can move, and after I finish a move, I can get out and still charge you. So what that lets me do in Steelhammer is combo it with a Tech Priest who gives it +3 to its movement after I give it a 4-up invul with his special ability, and then I can give it move. And so I can move 18 inches, take 1 command point to move through a wall, and suddenly 12 Ogren with commissars are right in your face. So they'll be able to jump out, get an order immediately. So I can give them like regular Ogren take aim if I want them to shoot more effectively, or the Bulgrin, I can give them fixed bayonets or like move or duty and honor, so I can like snipe an objective away and get my leadership a little bit better, or make my weapon skill a bit better because I'm going to charge somebody. And the really funny thing with the Stormlord is that it's really effective at like a mid-board skirmish very early on. Because what I can do is if somebody's got like a sneaky infiltrating Gene Stealer brick or something like that, the Ogren can hop out, beat them up, you position in such a way where your consolidation move gets you back onto like an objective or something, but then it keeps you within range to utilize the Stormlord's ability, which is at the end of your opponent's movement phase, you just pick a unit to jump back into the transport. So you can do a whole bunch of funny stuff with the list. It's a meme. I can't wait to play it. We got Lord Solar Leontis, and people might be confused as to why I'm not bringing him with Acadian brick. Well, kind of like Hayden was saying, defending your home isn't really like a necessity anymore. So I'd rather bring catechins so I can get like assault on all my guns, and then also have like 4 flamer profiles for snapshot threat. And then in the event I want to get active, I can give Lord Silver Lance, and he can get cute and do some weird stuff.
Sure.
But yeah, so I got the 2 Bolgrins and Ogrin, each of which have a commissar attached to them and leading because of the Exemplar of Duty enhancement, which lets them lead those units. According to the Militarum Field Manual, you can't do it in the app, but according to the MFM, you're allowed to. And then it gives them a 4-up field mission. And then I got 2 Sentinels for the reroll hits of 1, and to do some cheeky button pushing if needed, and then Cadian Recon Squad for like a early jail prevention. So just a silly list. I don't know. I'm not really trying to like try hard, do anything crazy, but I've made it a point to the squad or to the team that, hey, I want to make sure I can get Baneblades to work this edition. And I've been playing a couple of games with a different list, but I kind of want to keep that in the back pocket until things kind of settle down. We can figure out, hey, can guard squads actually have 2 characters attached to them or not? So we'll figure it out.
No, I do like that.
Should be a good time.
No, I know it does look pretty good, and maybe your pocket guard list got maybe you have your own version of a pocket Hellbrute, in the future. You just need an extra 190 points, it's like, it was in my case. I don't know,
Yeah. If it's in my, the TO said if it's in my case, I'm allowed to buy it. I brought it from home. It's okay.
Yeah, that's right. I will, as I'm updating my guard and I'm working through my my backlog of models right here. I noticed on your Scout Sentinels you went with the last cannons, and I'm really liking autocannons on my Scout Sentinels. One, there's 2 shots. That AP1 I really feel like it's going to come into the fold again here. But that just could be, I could just be Votan brained because I've been playing a lot of weapons that have AP1 in them.
As a Imperial Guard player for a very long time and a Imperial Fist enjoyer, the autocannon is my all-time favorite profile in all of 40K. The amount, like back in the day, the amount of Hydras I would just bring because Hydras were crazy, and you would have these Strength 7 twin-linked guns. They were so decent. And I had kind of the same thing. I was like, oh, the AP1 on the autocannon's so valuable now. But the thing is, that's not really what it needs to be doing. Like, nobody's looking at a Scout Sentinel with like an autocannon and being like, oh no, a Scout Sentinel with an autocannon and a Hunter killer missile. You look at a Scout Sentinel with a las cannon and you're like, oh, it probably won't do anything, but it might do something. Like, it's just that 55 points for, I might just do 13 damage. I might be able to do that. You kind of have to respect the 55-point model that's like that.
No, 100%. I was looking at, I believe it's Armored Skirmishers, and then mixing it up with another, probably Bridgehead Strike, where I was like,
No. No.
I was like,
no. Not Bridgehead Strike.
Well,
you go abhuman. You go abhuman, and then you put Ogrin in a Chimera, and you spend 1 command point to add 2 to the strength and ignore cover of it, and then it's 18 strength, 7 AP, 1, 2 damage shots.
No, yeah, that's pretty good, right? That is, again, that's another play you could do
It's
it.
mad funny. I
Um,
love it.
but
I
you could do
love it.
that. You could also do that the same. You don't need to be ad human for that, right? You could still put the Ogren inside that Chimera, but then now you have your two OC Scions that are dropping everywhere. But
Yeah.
yeah,
But the caveat to that is that apparently I haven't done the math, but better guard players than me have done the math. A Commissar and 6 Ogren and Abhuman are like more effective point wise than a unit of Kazarkin, and it's 15 points cheaper. So, because you
yeah.
get out, you get take aim, and then you get 18 strength 5 shots at AP2 if it's the closest thing, and you blow up whatever.
Well, you get rapid fire. You get first rank,
You
second.
don't get
Yeah, you don't get take aim, right?
no, you get take aim. You don't get first rank, second rank. It's only take aim.
It's only take aim. Yeah. But the only
Yeah.
danger with that is I don't believe in the Abhuman you can attach that Commissar to the Ogren Bogren, right? So they're just kind of floating around.
You can. You
Okay.
can. They clarified it in the Ministorum Field Manual. So it's in the MFM that you pay the 10 points for the enhancement that gives them the 4 of Feel No Pain, and then it lets them lead that unit.
Oh, see again, showing my ignorance there because I am just now starting to get caught up. Had very late nights here earlier in the week, so
Oh yeah.
no, thanks for that, Michael. That's good. I do
Yeah,
see
no
that.
problem.
You got anything else on here that you wanna end off here before? I do believe Danny has joined the chat before we start talking about his Knights list there.
No, I got nothing. I got to ramble about all my cool toys.
No, it's gonna be exciting to see you once again rolling the dice, getting on the table, and having a good
Oh
time.
yeah.
All right, Danny, let's talk about. Oh my gosh, I can't even talk about You're going to ATC. Your list is just completely different.
Yes.
Okay, give me a second here. I will pull it up here on BCP. Why don't we'll take a quick. It's not gonna be in my events. Gonna be in find events. Let's take a quick subversions here. We're gonna talk about ATC. All right, and
Yeah, I'm the weird guy who went to a different event.
I know it's okay. Your people needed Columbia needed you, right? For sure.
Yes.
And then,
Specifically, they needed me to play Purge, which is not what I'm doing for your team.
no, currently right now you are not on the purge selection here, and it is only June. It's funny on the website here. It remembers what month it is here, which is kind of crazy. 25. So it's gonna be 30
Yeah,
here.
bump the euro, boy.
Oh my God, the year too. Look at that, dude. You know what I'm saying? Unreal. Probably why I can't. I don't ever use my computer to search for that jazz, right? So let's go 25 here. Good catch, Hayden, for the year. There we go. And then we'll do ended on the 30th, something like that. And we'll search. There's ATC. And Danny, are you playing in the 8-man or the 5-man there?
8-man.
Yeah, my man's on the 8-man. Okay, all right. Let's pull this up here.
Yeah, I fully expect this to be a trash fire. Nobody knows what they're doing.
That's okay.
NPL Discord is in shambles.
They are
hilarious.
Yeah. And then let's go to Rob.
They're doing their best, bro. I'm like actively praying for JD's like mental state. It's insane.
All right. So we're gonna pull this up here. First off, you are playing for the 3-inch errata to 6-inch deep striking your mom team. Very good. Very fitting.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like
I should clarify that I did not come up with that name.
hey. No one's judging here. Looks like you're on Knights and you're playing Purge the Foe.
That's right. Freeblade Company. I had originally planned to bring a duplicate of the list I'm working on for the TEO 5-mans, but my Knight Destrier turned out to be only half a man. I had duplicates of half the sprues and none of the other half.
Classic quality control there.
Yeah, so it's going to be a minute before I get one of those to replace it. So I kind of had to improvise, and what I ended up with is basically a cut-down version of what I ran at the TEO singles a week or so ago. 2 weeks ago? I don't remember.
It was
Which
last
did pretty
week.
well for me.
I think it was last
Yeah.
week.
Yeah. Anyway, that list did pretty well for me, but I had to cut it down because there were some point changes. Lancer got a little bit more expensive, and the Crusader got a lot more expensive. So I cut the Crusader down to a Castigator, and cut the Calexis Assassin down to a unit of agents. It's not a terribly exciting list. At this point, I'm optimizing for what are my best looking models so that I can have a chance at best painted.
There you go.
I think my Castigator looks great. The Uppy Downy Errant turned out to be a fantastic model. I really enjoy being able to, even if I never get to use it, the opponent having to play around it, being able to pick up the Errant and drop it within Melta range, and then reroll ones to hit and wound, creates a problem that your opponent can never really stop worrying about. I like Bringer of Justice on the Lancer. Going from 5 attacks to 7 or 10 to 12 on the sweep makes him much more reliable into the sorts of fights he gets stuck into. Particularly if he needs to kill something big, like a Satan or a Mortarion or another Knight even. He's much more reliable with a couple extra attacks. Still like Canis. He's still very squishy, but I find that Freeblade is extremely command point hungry, and his discount comes in handy.
Yeah, 100%.
Pretty much that's it. Nothing groundbreaking.
Yeah, still got a Helverin and a Warglaive, and
The Helverin really appreciates having the Castigator around a lot more than it appreciates having a Crusader around. It gives it sustain and additional AP.
awesome. And then you guys, I believe pairings are up, correct? Who are you going into that first round?
Keel Hall Gaming. Let's see. I haven't actually had a good look at their list. I've never heard of these people. Are they good?
Ooh, I don't know. Let's go look at it. I am not one
I
to.
remember. I think we saw them in tournaments. I never played them, but that sounds familiar.
Because we played Super Cool Dudes round 1, right? Back in March.
This Dojo, Dojo as well as Plan the 8-Man, who we played in round 5 at ATC.
Let's see.
I don't know.
They've got.
I don't think they've figured out fully how to get their dispositions on the app either.
Right.
Which,
yeah, you got to use the website for that.
1,000%.
You can't use the app.
The app doesn't like it, but it looks like you're gonna have to play against some Space Marines. You got NIDS, World Eaters, GSC, Eldar. Knights also on Purge, some Guard, and then Sisters on Take and Hold. Interesting. Not the first time I'm seeing that.
Ultramarines have double Ballistas and double Vindicator. That's interesting. That's a little different.
Tyranids. I'm curious.
Tyranids are Assimilation Swarm Talons of the Northern Queen. That'll be tanky. That'd be fun.
Northern Queen, probably their other Take and Hold.
I don't like any World Eaters lists where they have multiple units of Exalted 8-bound. I don't want it. Not because it's a particularly bad matchup for me. It can be, but because I don't like the way it plays. It's really frustrating and uninteractive. Because the Exalted 8-bound will kill 2 knights. I have no input in that equation. Let's see. Gene Stealer Cults. Outlander Claw. Heroes of the Uprising.
Doing recon. Interesting.
A lot of mortal wounds in here, too.
Yep.
Um, Eldari, Recon, Seer Council, Path of the Outcast. I don't know how to read this. I don't know pointy ears.
Well, so this will be super interesting, right? Because especially in this detachment too, one, he's going to roll 6 dice, and they're going to be his fate dice. So they're each one corresponds to a different stratagem that he'll just get to use one of those fate dice to use.
Hmm.
That Farseer, that Torque of that's a Vectora that he's got on that Farseer on there. And then what's super cool is some of those stratagems, right? He can teleport, and that he can deep strike any of these things. So, you could have deep striking fire dragons. You could have, it's gotta be infantry, right? But so not the Wraith Lord or whatever. So he can move these Rangers where he wants to go, or these Banshees, um, and put them where he's at. He's got the Avatar Arcane. So it can get to the portions of the board that it needs to go to, um, to do what it needs to do. So he's doing reconnaissance, so he's just got to be in those sections of the board, right? It's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah. They have an Imperial Knights list. It's also Freeblade. Most of the Imperial Knights lists here are Gate Warden and Foe Breakers.
Which you were talking about, Gay Warden Lance, with the
I love Gate Warden. I played over 100 games of it in 10th edition.
They stand on
no,
your
it's less
shoulders,
fun.
Danny.
It's less fun when everybody's doing it. When I played it, it had like a 28% win rate.
yeah. Oh, I'll be right back. Give me a second, guys. You're good. Good.
Okay, he's got an Atropos with Bringer of Justice. I like that. It benefits a lot going from hitting on 3s to hitting on 2s. He has a Lancer, Castellan with Mysterious Guardian. That's pretty common. And a Crusader with Hunter's Eye, and all the fixins. Honestly, pretty similar to how I approach Knights. Basically, he took more expensive Knights and doesn't have a unit of agents. I don't hate it. Siege Regiment Guard. That's
What the fuck, bro? What is this guy? So hold on. Hold on. Before we open this list, there is a realm that I have been like sitting there where I'm like, maybe I want to make a unit -4 to move.
Maybe. Has he gone that route?
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys.
No, it's weirder than that.
Oh man. But yeah, and hey, when's that first round for you guys? On that's tomorrow, right?
10 o'clock tomorrow. I'm getting up in the morning and driving over there.
All right. Well, definitely. Best of luck to you, Danny, on that.
Yeah, I'm not expecting to win. I paid a whole lot of money to practice, basically.
Yeah.
But they'll be good reps. If I'm going to get ruined, I want it done to a professional standard.
No, it's good. I always liked. I've always enjoyed our ATC experience that we've gotten with the 5-mans, and usually what happens is we kind of rise up. We're like, oh, we're good, and then we just get beat back down to our elo, right? Like where we're currently at as players.
I've never done ATC. I did 8TC earlier in the year, and I had a relatively good time. My team did not.
Yeah. We
Um,
the mall that's the 8TC, right? That was the mall where we were cooking.
yeah, with the skylight of Damocles, it was like broken and threatening to fall the entire time.
Definitely wasn't the best, but again, we do have end of August we do got that the TEO 5-man event where kind of like how I started, how to start it here. We're gonna bring at least 2 teams. I think we got enough players for 3 different distinct teams. So it's gonna be super interesting to see how that plays out. And we're not. I'll be talking a lot here on this channel, like how I'll be playing and what I'm building for, looking for on that. So and I hope you guys will all kind of join in the round robin discussions for that as well.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Let's go back. I want to go. Let's take it back to. Let me clear this off here. I don't need this ATC madness anymore in here. Let's Is there any other lists in here? Let's talk about. We said I was gonna cover Jake's list. My man was painting up 60 witches. He's like, I'm doing Drakari. It's gonna be a thing. And then he uploaded Sisters. So, um, looking at here, he went with the Army of Faith with the Chorus of Condemnation, and it looks like he's gonna play Reconnaissance. He's got Morganval with unit of the Paragon Warsuits. He's got a Canonist with a Zephanim squad. He's got a Canonist with jump pack with by herself it looks like, and he's got Saint Celestine, squad of Battle Sisters, double Immolator with the Flamers, Hunter Killers. He's still on the triple Castigators. I mean, 165 for the first two, and then 175 for the third one doesn't seem like that makes a price hike. We got the Dominion squad, and then triple Seraphim squad. I wish he was here to really talk about this list. And for any of you Sisters fans out there, do you guys know kind of like what he's hoping to do with this, and why he kind of went this over the Drakari?
I might be able to help you out with that, Blake. Give me a second.
Yeah, no. Take your time, man. Take your time. I'm just chilling. The World Cup game, U.S. did just tie. It's 1-1, right? So it's I got thing going on up.
Yeah, so essentially he's playing recon. He wants to be around the board and perform actions. And he likes it because, again, Purge, it does actions and dodges against Tail, hold it 6 points, you can gain on all fronts, and then you get extra point for killing. I think he said one of the weaknesses is if you can tail him by turn 3. But he feels like Vol and the Castigators swing a full push while the Angels go score their points.
Okay, yeah.
That's a little synopsis we gave me. Yeah.
No, I like that. Hey, and I was actually reminded here. I was talking to one of the XPC guys, Logan, in actually in Levi's Discord. Did you guys know that for singles, there is no requirement to have units in dedicated transports? It's one of those weird rules.
It sounds like a problem for people with units and not single models.
Yeah, right. This is like because he was showing me a list. It was like, hey man, this is 6 Capricus carriers, and it's 6 Capricus defenders, and it's got 6 Sagittars. I'm like, okay, what? This doesn't make any sense to me. And then it was pointed out that in the companion document for doubles specifically, it talks about you must have, if you have a dedicated transport, it must have units inside there. But for the singles event, it does not. That little blurb, not there. I was like, I'm not gonna rush out to get a bunch of Capricus carriers just to exploit something, for a week or so. But I just wanted to bring that up because he's got those emulators on there, for those dedicated transports. Super cool. Super cool. Let's see here. Sadly, Sean can't be here to talk about an EC list. Of course, he's down. He's traveling abroad for some work, so he's not going to be at this event. But we do have James with his EC. He's bringing it back. And let's see what my man's doing. He is playing, looks like he wants to go Purge by his list name. Court of the Phoenician and the Frenzied Host are his two detachments there. And my man's got Lucius the Eternal with some 6-man flawless blades. He's got Lord Exultant with some infractors. He's got another Lord Exultant with infractors. Hey, he's got that 3 times. What do you know? And then double Demon Prince with wings. Funny enough, it's really interesting how GW does this pricing with the multiple units. The first Demon Prince with wings, 205. The second one is 235. Whereas, like, You look at a Hecaton, 250 for one, 265. So I'm kind of curious of where they decided to price these multiple units. And I believe the Lord of Changes on your side, Hayden, they were only 10 points more per each one.
If I recall, I think the first two are equal, and it's the third one takes a slight price hike.
Yeah, but it's
Confirm that right now.
yeah, but it's weird to see the different. You think it'd be a baseline kind of like it's consistent, right? Hey, your first one's this. Maybe if your second one costs more, it's this one. Your third one's this one. But it's the same increment. But here, like I said, it's 30 extra points for that second Demon Prince.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, so confirm. Yeah, Lords of Change. Yeah, first two are 300. It goes to 315. So that is pretty inconsistent.
I agree. Yeah. You got Fulgrim. He's got a unit of Tormentors, and he's got 2 Noise Marines. Super easy. He's obviously trying to purge. He's going to go fast. No Defilers, mind you, which I do believe if we go back talking about ATC with Danny there, he's got I think there's 42 Defilers at ATC. That's the most represented unit once again, even in 11th edition.
I love Defilers.
Of course you do. Oh shoot. Yeah, man. Is there anyone else out there you guys want to kind of look at, talk about here? We got Tyler's list. Let's see here. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Scott, I'm regenning it all over. So he's playing Assimilation Swarm and Talons of the Norn Queen. I don't know if he's trying to do priority assets or taking hold based off of the BCP or the top of his list. He didn't clarify there. But he's got the Tyranid Prime with Lash Whip attached to some Hornagots. Yeah, he's got that twice. A Death Leaper, a Hive Tyrant, a Biovore, double Lictor, Malceptor, double Neurolictor, and he's got 2 Norn Assimilators, 1 Norn Emissary, 2 units of Biovore. I feel like he's trying to do take and hold, but I'm not really sure. Just with that amount of Norn, if you will. But yeah, man, best of luck to you, Tyler. Haven't seen you in a while playing, so it'd be kind of good to get you to see what you got going on there. Let's see here. I'm gonna show. I think we'll talk Clayton real fast. He's on Drukhari, and maybe that's why maybe since Jake brought sisters, that's why Clayton decided to bring Drukhari. Looks like he's got available dispositions for him is Purge and Reconnaissance. He's got the Cabalite, Agonist, and Sky Splinter Assault. He's going to rock Lady Mouse with Incubi. He's got Drazar again with another 5-man Incubi, and Archon with another Incubi squad. Succubus with 10 Ladies of Witches, 10, 20, 30 Cabalite Warriors, Double Raider, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Venoms, a Kronos, and then we got the Scourges with heavy weapons, 2 of those and 1 shard cannons. Super interesting. If you notice here, I think the changes to the what's it called? Emergency de-embarkation, right, from transports could really hinder Drukhari coming up here because it's rolls of 1 and 2. They're going to take mortals on there. I know you don't play transport lists, Danny, but what do you think about this? Either Michael or Hayden with the Drukhari and them stumbling out of these multiple transports.
I lost to Drukhari last time I played against them. It was Charles Barker. I found that I underestimated them. Like, yes, I can kill them very easily, but it requires an activation every time. It's extremely annoying to have to dedicate like 400 points of shooting or melee to like swishing a 70-point go-kart, which is a pretty common thing that happens constantly. Like, you just have to kill the thing sometimes for whatever reason, either an overforce or whatever.
Yes, I think that's one of the reasons when you look at the changes to emergency disembarkation is you don't see me running multiple Sagittars. You don't see me running even multiple Hegatons because I don't want a big activation into my transports, blowing them up, and then I'm just getting a sea of my own mortal wounds into myself. But again, I'm testing that with the one unit of Berserks in the one Sagittar. They at least have a fort, feel no pain, so hopefully, uh, those tough bastards can survive any mortal wounds that happen to them coming out.
Mhm.
Yeah, Blake, I agree with you. You're effectively doubling the amount of mortal wounds you're going to take versus the previous edition. And then on top of that, your battle shock, and you now have to unbattle shock by successfully passing a test. So it's not like you just battle shock in your turn. So it is significantly worse for transport heavy armies.
Yep. No. Yeah, you're spot on, man. Um,
From the outside looking in, it looks like the transport is less of a safe space where you hide and more of a way to get where you're going, which is, I think, more intuitive.
oh yeah, we got Warhawk in the chat saying he's going to bring 5 transports with his Harlequins, and I mean that seems about right, like what you need to do for that army, especially with the I think they still have the end of fight phase ability. You can hop back in the boats. I just worry that maybe you know you're surviving being on that T3 4+ invuln to try to survive. Oh, time will tell, right? I mean, again, this is definitely the testing phase of the operation. Talking to some of my guys, I haven't really got to utilize my Eldar in quite a while time, and so if I'm looking at to take and hold with those guys, I got 2 options. I got Spirit Conclave, or I got the Battle Host, right? And the Guardian Battle Host, and I really like the Guardian Battle Host specifically for the strat where I can revive all the Guardians in the squad that go down there. So, what's the likelihood in one activation that you're going to kill 10 Guardians that have they're a 4 up, 5 up invuln, plus you're going to kill the 4 Warlocks. So you got 8 more wounds there, and they have a 4 up invuln. You have the attached um, support weapon platform, which is going to be the D cannon in this case, and either a Farseer or Eldred, right? In these 2 bricks, because you have to wipe that entire squad out, or I'm just going to spend 1 CP. I'm going to put them in reserves, and I'm going to regenerate all those Guardians back because everyone shares that Guardian keyword. And they're
It's
-1.
very strong.
It's super strong. It's going to be -1 to wound. Like you're thinking, oh, it's T3. That's
Does the
fine.
unit still have the Guardian keyword if the Guardians are all dead?
Yes, they do because now the squad, because you are creating it and you're attaching everything in the list building step, so all those keywords are um are shared. And
Yeah.
and Michael, Warlocks don't suffer from not having ignored cover so much more lethal. Yeah, I agree because all that shit is torrent, right? So on there. So that's something I'm gonna be looking at. And when you pair that with Vipers that are gonna shoot and give you the suppression, the -1 to hit, that's gonna be pretty. I think it's gonna be significant to where you're gonna have this big blob that might only have 4 or 5 guys towing on the objective. Okay, 10 OC, are you gonna shoot me off with -1 ballistic skill? Oh, you're -1 to hit too because my Viper hit you, and -1 to be wounded. There's a strong chance I'm going to get that squad to survive. And if you get a successful, like really good activation, well, remember I got the fade back, got the battle focus tokens. I can move the squad D6 away. If you don't get the charge off on there, very high likely probability that this squad is still going to be there at the end of the fight phase to regen and go up. Now, whether that's any good, I don't know. We'll see, right? That's a lot of maybes in there. Yeah, Warhawk thinks the Guardian Battlehouse is pretty strong too. All right. I definitely agree. Definitely agree. So let's go with this. Let's talk kind of get over the list over here real fast. One of the things that Danny and I had talked about doing towards the end of the end of the. I'm sorry, I'm reading chat here. Isn't there a -1 to hit enhancement too? I don't believe so. I'd have to double check. I don't think there's a -1 to hit enhancement. I think there's a better Overwatch enhancement, but I'd have to go back and look. In fact, here, let's just pull it up right now. Let me look real fast, Michael, and answer your question, so I'm not being a scrub lord here. Aldari Codex. Let's go with Guardian Battle Host enhancements. No, one's a better thing. There's Infiltrate 1. Now, the other enhancement, oh, you said Stratagem, right? No, enhancement, plus 5 OC to a character. You can infiltrate 2 Guardian squads. You can, if you're leading a Dire Avengers or Guardians, you can snap shooting on a 5+ or a 4+ if I'm within range of the objective marker that I control, and then a Storm Guardian squad, you can re-roll the number of flamer shots and the number of damage that you get for the fusion guns. So not a -1 to the hit enhancement there in the old Guardian host. But it's a 2 DP. You know, can't think of my words are escaping me right now. But it's only 2 DP, so you can pair it with something. Maybe the Ranger one's got a -1 to hit in there. I'm not really sure. Again, guys, I'm just now kind of looking through it and trying to discover the combos and see what I can. More so on my own than um, using other resources out there. I think that's part of the fun of it. Is trying the combos out, seeing what works for you. That's kind of what got me on Leagues of Votans, what got me on Spirit Conclave before, right? Was just everyone told me, hey, this is garbage. Okay, well, let me play it. Let me try it. Let me see what's going on there. But no, Hayden, if you weren't on this Purge Chaos Demons thing, what do you think you'd be playing right now? What is something else you want to try?
So I agree with Trent that Plague Legion's pretty interesting, just because you can sit there, take and hold, and just battle shock the hell out of your opponent. Could be quite effective, especially when you combine it with I think it's called Warp Tide, the other detachment where you can advance and charge all your battle line. It also has a regen strat and a few other things. I think that one would definitely interest me, just because I have the models. I'd have to do some painting, but yeah, just being able to sit there, hold objectives with a bunch of T13 duos, and send your plague bearers out sticking things, and then just sending out battle shocks that then your opponent has to try and overturn in their command phase. I think would be a really fun way to play. It obviously has some issues with it really doesn't have any shooting. I think Tau would be a big concern, but could certainly be a fun way to play.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. And then Danny, tell me about if you're not on Knights. I think me and Hayden know what you'd be playing, but what would you be playing?
2 things I'm working on: Delve Assault Shift Votan, and Hammer of Averni Space Marines. Which both actually tie into what you're talking about the unit not being dead until the character is dead, actually. They both rely heavily on regenerating models. Particularly Delve Assault Shift, which benefits a lot from that because of the way that Barrack drastically increases the number of wounds that you need to chew through to put down a Berserk unit. In a 5-man unit, he literally doubles the number of wounds in the unit.
Oh, yeah.
In a 10-man unit, he's 50% more wounds. I think for Delve Assault Shift, 10-man units are the answer, because so much of the power of that detachment comes from Delver Navigator regenerating Berserks. It's a toilet, you flush all your yield points down it, and you regen 8 Berserks, and that could be a huge swing in the game. Which is much, much, much more likely if because berserks don't really have meaningful shooting, so they're often hidden. So the things that want to shoot at them have to get close or fight them. They fight on death. If you're trying to shoot them, there's a strat to give -1 to wound. Not if your strength is greater, just flat. So it can be very tricky to put them down in one go.
No, that's good. I think what's going to keep me off of Delve personally when playing my Votan is it being tied to the Purge the Foe disposition. And I'm not really sure what I'm going to pair with it, so I would get access to another disposition, right?
I've been running it with the mini Hearthband, Hearthband Covenant, I think it's called.
Yes, yeah.
That benefits me because of the weird way that I run my warriors. So most Delve Assault Shift lists put Delver Navigator on a lone op, like typically a Thunderkin. No, what's he called? The Iron Master. Because that's a relatively safe place to put it. But a quirk of Delvert Navigator is that you have to be able to see the thing that you're regenerating, which can be tricky if you've like rapid ingress unit of berserks on the other side of the board or something. So what I do with it is I put it on a call with a teleport crest in a unit of warriors, because Delve Assault Shift has an uppy-downy strat that works on warriors, berserks, and jaegers. So being able to uppy-downy that warrior unit and drop it within range to regen is extremely useful. Another quirk of the regeneration from Delvert Navigator is that it happens in your reinforcement step. So you can drop and still regen, which is kind of neat and tends to catch people off guard.
No, that's really good. And again, we talk about these stratagems that helps you regen entire units. And so even though I'm a huge fan of, say, Spirit Conclave, the power of that regen, I'm only getting one model per squad if the Spirit Seer's in there, and he doesn't attach, right? So he is just a lone op dude around them. But with these new rules, if your character's attached, like Barrack, like a Farseer, you're getting so much more survivability, right? And higher probability of that squad surviving to revive. I do think it is a lot stronger.
I forgot to explain why I thought the Hearthband Covenant was helping with Delve.
Yeah.
It's a quirk of me running big warrior breaks. I don't split them up with Sagittars because I want to uppy-downy them and deep strike them. So I have one brick of 10 with Uthar and one brick of 10 with that call. And being able to reroll ones on them helps quite a bit in making them more than just a tanky brick that is a delivery mechanism for my Delvert Navigator. Also having the little 5-man units of Hearthguard that I run shoot a little bit better makes a big difference. Previously, in 10th edition, they were a delivery mechanism for the pile driver E-Champ, which is kind of nutty. Like, he can have a 6 attached with a 4 damage axe. So they're worth it just to get him into the game. But it's much more convenient now that they can reroll ones to hit and wound and shooting.
Yeah. But I think the reroll ones to wound and shooting is also tied to like within 9 inches or something. You got to really, it's got a different clause than it does in the Hearthband attachment, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, even a regular deep strike is 8 inches now, so you're within range.
Oh, you're right.
And you have access to the 6-inch with the little one too.
Yeah. Hey, let's you guys want to segue, kind of talk about TEO circuit, how it's kind of going in our placements, and see what's going on over there?
Sure.
All right, so let's click on this here, and this is so yes, this is kind of, if you guys want to know here, obviously, I guess the tabletop elite open, right? Frank's been running this. He's got 10 events for scoring on here to try to see where people are going to place at on this, and I'm hoping that some local competitors can score pretty high here in the top 10, hopefully podium, And currently, Danny, you are in the second place, if you could believe it here.
I've lost to Lucas Herring 4 consecutive games. I'll get it eventually.
Yeah, yeah, and that has definitely taken 62 points from you from those
Mhm.
losses. But no, you got your 10 events there on there. Hopefully here, I'm not sure if ATC will get anything on there, but really hoping that you can go to you got the October TEO. Hopefully there's some more GT we can get you to hopefully edge out Mr. Lucas up there, number one.
I hope
Uh,
so.
I hope
I
so
don't know. I
too.
may be awful at 11th. We don't know yet.
Time will tell. I am also currently here, still in the top 10. I'm looking at, I'm in fourth place. I do have my 10 events. I do have some underperforming events that are on there. Just just let's just say that's the downside of having to try things out at events versus being well prepared at the house, getting your reps in, and to do quite well. So hopefully this weekend here and some other events coming up, we can get rid of some of those lower scoring points. Hopefully secure me up there because Ken is hot on my heels, but he's only got 9 events, so I'm trying to stay ahead of there. And Hayden, I know yourself, you have not gotten to play. You're not even on. My man, I think you're at like 5 events. I want to say.
Tops, maybe, or 0. I don't know.
Yeah, it hasn't been. I think if I look under, because you've been playing demons. Yeah, Hayden Smith, my man, you've only played 2 events. So, uh,
Sounds about right.
at least with demons, right? So you've done quite well. You got 225 points out of those 2 events. So hopefully, again, we got you here for this event here. This will be a third one. The teams that's coming up in August will get you a fourth one, and so I would love to see you continue to climb that leaderboard here, both for your faction as well as uh, the overall, right, the top 10 there. It'd be great to see a mongoose up there, especially with when you're looking at the team scoring here, team rankings here. We're not in the top 5, however, the old mongoose, we are 7th right now. We are only 10 points behind the old Georgia Warlords. So if we could, I would love to see us as a team rack up these points and try to get up on there. Let's see here. And then when we look at our faction rankings, I do believe, Danny, you are comfortably in the lead for Imperial Knights to win the first year of it's weird. There's got agents twice. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, Danny, your 6 events, you're looking at 777 points. You have a comfortable, 231 point lead over Doug.
Yeah, I think Doug's the only other person who's like seriously playing Knights, like in a lot of events.
Yep, that seems.
Regionally, I mean.
Yep, that does seem to be the case. And then Lisa Votan right there. I do got the 6 events. I'm at 724, so my average is slightly below yours with those events. But Nathan Swan's hot on my tail with that 655, and Alex Mann with 604. So hopefully I can maintain this lead here and keep working it. Super interested to see where our you got Philip French here. He's at 754 for Space Marines. Hopefully he can maintain that as we wind this down. Trent with his Space Wolves. He's got 3 events. He's in third with only 3 events, right at 333. If you can continue that average, it'd be good to see him take that. And what do we got here? Where's the Tyranids at? Levi, he's in second, but he's only got 5 events, and he's only down by about 33 points or so. So hopefully he gets to another event here, and he can pop up there. And I'd love to see the boys win and get some of our faction experts that we have here take home these Best in Faction overall for the first year of the inaugural of this circuit that we're competing in, right? That's my wish, right? I definitely want some local cats from where Frank's at to definitely take home some of these end of the year trophies, if you will, for those events. But if you guys don't have anything else, there's no questions from chat though. We'll give it a couple minutes here. That probably could be. We could wrap this one up. Kind of went a little longer than I thought it did, we should, but I enjoy getting the boys together, chatting around, doing the kind of ad hoc discussion here with everybody.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Blake. I'll see you Saturday.
Yeah, man. Again, we'll let me know what time. Again, just text me in the chat. We'll get you. We'll get us all linked up. It'll be you, me, and Doug. And Michael Hamilton, you do got some good competition this weekend, man. Mongoose are bringing 6 or 7, like we are. The team is coming out to support Woody and to see what the rules lawyers have on their home turf. And Danny, best of luck to you at ATC this weekend. Keep us updated with your matchups, your games, kind of how it goes, and let us know what's
Fun
up.
time. Yeah, safe travels, everybody.
All right. Well, cool. We'll end it there, and we'll wrap it up and see you guys next week on Thursday, where we will recap all of our games, our events, kind of how it went down. Danny's going to really kind of steal the show. He'll have a few more rounds than everyone else does to talk ATC there.
Mm-hmm. I'll try to take some pictures this time. I usually forget.
Yeah. Email me those pictures. We'll get them going on a thing. Me too. Me and Hayden. I'll get Jake and hopefully Clayton and the other folks to do the same. But with all that, guys, we'll see you on the next time.
Mm-hmm. See ya.
See